Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gamer Grudge.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Gamer Grudge.
Yay.
So, guys, before we start, I just want to make an answer right now. You did not hear wrong. Yes, I've been saying this. This is the final. Well, I wouldn't say final episode. This is the. Andrew, what's a good word for it?
Temporary last episode.
Temporary last episode until certain things blow over.
No, don't phrase it like that. It makes it sound, it's like
it makes it sound like somebody here.
It makes it sound like we. It makes it sound like we broke the COPPA rules. We didn't. But we're doing it because of the COPPA rules.
Yeah.
The way you phrased it made it sound like we did some very bad stuff.
It does.
We have to leave.
Just Matt.
No.
Whenever you're speaking, remember we are not Channel Awesome. We don't have to work.
We are voluntarily making the switch away from YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because we don't want to deal with all the COPPA bullshit.
Right. All right, but guys, you get it. So guys, like I said, this is the last stream on YouTube, but I'm gonna introduce, we got some new audience. We have 2 new streaming services that we're working on. Mixer is back. Mixer, thank you. We're back with the Mixer audience. Twitch, Periscope, DLive, Smashcast, Facebook. I want to welcome you all for coming to join us. But the person that's going to be first, before we start, we gotta talk about our the people who run the show. And first, I'm gonna talk to him. He's a fact checker, and he's here. Zach.
Yeah.
Great intro, Mac.
What
great A.
What am I? Wonderful. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be talking about.
Like I don't know.
You buried the lead so deep, no one knows what we're talking about.
Exactly. Well, guys, y'all know this is Gamer Grudge. This is the Gamer Debate Show. I just wanted to get him out of the way.
Great start.
Yeah,
great start. I know. Yeah.
You're just mad because he's one of the only. He is the other. He is the former champion in this whole thing, and I'm the current.
We'll
champion.
Get to you.
You are the never champion, Matt.
We will get to you in a minute. So get in the corner.
Go to your corner.
Go to your corner, damn it.
I'll go to my alcove.
No.
All right, but guys, he's gonna be fact checking the show tonight. We also have the wonderful Angelic Sin, aka I call Andrew.
Hi.
She will be looking at the chat. Well, I don't know whether it's restream the YouTube chat. We don't.
I will be in the chats thereabouts.
She'll be talking to you. She's the one. She's basically the person gonna be talking with you. Before we start, people, we did have a third fighter, but it had to drop out real quick. We're sorry, but we have 2 great fighters in this pre-Cyber Monday fight.
It's Mac. Why is it the Cyber Monday fight? Cyber Monday is literally 2 weeks from now.
Actually, it's next week.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It is the Monday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Mac.
After Black Friday.
My bad. Well,
he meant to call it the pre-Cyber Monday just because we're all gonna pretty much be doing other stuff on Cyber Monday.
Guys, we got lives, okay? Before we start, let's get to the fighters. I guess he's the champ for now, Eric.
I'm the champ for forever, baby.
Now.
You wish.
Yeah. You can't. No, I'm not gonna do that. Next we have a person who actually was in the semifinals, who was beaten by said fact checker. Frisbee.
Glad to be back. Ready for some grudge.
Woo! I like that. All right. Well, before we start, we always go over the rules. Angie, if you will read
The rules.
The rules.
All right, here are the rules, folks. There are going to be 4 rounds with 1 question per round. The point is awarded to the fighter with the best argument. The 2 fighters with the most points will advance to the PvP round. In the event of a tiebreaker round will commence in the form of quick bait or grudge quiz. The 5 phases. Phase 1 is your introduction where you folks will simply state your answer. Phase 2 is your declaration where you guys have 3 minutes to make your arguments. Phase 3 is the grudge where you guys have 5 minutes just to tear each other's arguments apart and we want to see blood. Phase 4 is the last minute round. You guys get 1 minute and the judge will ask you 1 question and you have the 1 minute to answer that question. Phase 5 is where we do the cleanup, where we do our fact checking, and we will give you guys our verdict.
All right. With that said, people, before we start, you know my ruling. I haven't done this in a while. I've seen this is last time on YouTube. I'm gonna say, are you ready to fucking grudge?
Oh my God, Mac, you actually got somebody to react the way you want them to react. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, this is a gamer grudge first.
It happened.
Somebody actually reacted the way Mac wanted to react, and that person also was not Mac.
We're gonna see if you win tonight.
It's a gamer grudge miracle.
It's a miracle. Oh!
It's a miracle on Cyber Monday Street.
All right, guys, let's play this daggone montage. Here we go, people. Montage time.
Montage mode.
Woo.
Montage, I got time to peek.
I do wish I would remember to rewrite the questions as much as I would have wanted to.
Oh, it's okay, man.
Well, no, because I made the cards. I'm like, oh man.
Like, what? And are you?
Woo! I got my bell ready, people. It's time to do this.
Oh no, he has his bell.
All right, so like always, Zach, you have the question card. So question number 1 is, what game character would make a good standalone comic? Now we're talking about comic book.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Like I will have to say with the also I'm guessing I'm probably backwards on here. No, I don't know.
No, you're good.
But
that's really good for once.
I would like
Zach,
to point out
if you're ever curious about how it looks, just look on the second Mac screen.
Exactly.
Because that's what they see.
All right. I would like to point out the word good wasn't anywhere in the question originally in the form I got. So I had
Okay, so let's go with the answers. So Eric, what's your answer?
I went with James McLeod, the father of Fox McCloud from Star Fox.
Okay. Frisbee?
The one and only Master Chief. Sierra 117.
0117. That's it. All right. Eric, I'm gonna ring the bell. You may start. You may give me your declaration. Starting, Angie. Can I ring the bell? Can I ring the bell? Did you give me a thumbs up?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
So for my comic, I'm going to use the framing device is that this is a story that's told shortly after the true ending of Star Fox 64, where after seeing the ghost, while escaping the fight with Andros and seeing the ghost of his dead father, Peppy, Fox decides to go up to Peppy and ask to really hear the story of his father, to really learn what it is about the team, as like what things were like before Pigma really betrayed them, and which led to his death. So it's framed as Peppy essentially being the narrator of this story, telling the story of James McCloud in a 6-issue limited series, starring the original Star Fox team of Pigma, Peppy, and James McCloud. This will really highlight the actual team dynamics that they had, and how it was actually a betrayal for Pigma to turn against them, despite the fact that whenever we see Pigma in the games, he's just the worst. How it was an actual blindside to see him betray them, and we really get a sense of who James was as a character, because in the games he's just Fox with some shades.
That's it.
That's it.
All right, Frisbee. We just heard Fox with some shades. What's going to be your declaration? Angie, are you ready? All right, ringing the bell.
So for my comic, the base starting is that it is the story of Master Chief, but not only Master Chief, it's the other 31 Spartans that also survived, and just following the upbringing and training of all of these survivors before the fall of Reach. And basically the comic would go from when they were kidnapped until their cybernetic modifications and all the training that they went through to become the Super Spartan soldiers. And I just the thing about Master Chief is that, and well, I can't say the other Spartans, but the thing about Master Chief specifically is that he's very easy to relate with, as he wasn't expressed in many given ways. So I feel like, given the comic, it gives you that open ability to really lay the groundwork for what the character would be before he lost everything that made him into the Spartan and what originally made him human. So there's just that emotional level that you'd be able to use in the comic, and just adding to the backstory. I mean, so much of the Halo is shrouded in mystery, and everything about the Spartans and how their training was and how it differed from any other training, because I mean, most of the people that had the cybernetic modifications died. So to see and go feel with them as they undergo all these different transformations, it was just a no-brainer for a comic for me. And that's pretty much I got for now.
All right, Zach, are you ready?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm ready.
Andrew, you just all right? Okay, I guess I don't got to
Yes,
say
I'm
that from
ready.
you. All right, cool. All right, well, guys, good opening round. Let's go ahead and get ready to get this grudge on.
Now, the biggest issue I see with adding a new piece of lore into Halo is that there are so many different addendums and different books and different games that take place over different eras, and there's so much that already exists in the world of Halo, that at the point that you are looking to look at John 117, is that it really ruins the mystique of Master Chief, is that we don't want to see Master Chief as not Master Chief. That is so counterintuitive of who he is. He is supposed to be this stoic character, and seeing him as a poor child grasping onto his humanity is not something I actually want to read. Now, a story of badass Star Captain James McCloud leading leading his team, knowing that he is one day going to be betrayed by one of his trusted teammates. That is a story that I would like to read, especially in a 6-issue limited series, knowing that it will have a definitive beginning, middle, and end.
I disagree, because coming from somebody who I watched Deadliest Warrior, I watched all of these shows that display combat, and they're popular shows. They're shows or things that people love. And what I think people would love to see is the training. What made these Spartans almost so invincible that you can take one and he can nearly take down an entire empire? I mean, what did they do to these children that they kidnapped? They didn't ask for these children. They kidnapped them and forced them into training and cybernetic and psychological experiments that didn't just make him decide he wants to be the stoic character. No, they stole his humanity. They stole what makes him a human. And I think that the ability to see what they did to him would only further deepen the love that people have for him when they see what he does in these games.
Yes, because that worked so well with Darth Vader.
No. See,
no,
that's
that
an
is
opinion.
because that's not a matter of opinion.
I like the prequels better, though.
Ooh, that is a hard sell, because that is note for note exactly Anakin's journey through the prequels.
And I loved that. I loved that I grew up watching this character grow up and turn evil.
The prequels have its benefits. Anakin's story through the movies is not one of them.
But it's interesting to be able to see where this what happened to make them this evil. What happened to turn Darth Vader into this person who just has all this hatred inside of them. And to be able to go back and see that, I understand people who saw it first may not appreciate it, but there's a lot of things that you can see and a lot of understanding that it opens up. And to be able to see that, and to be honest, I don't really want to see the story of the person before my main story. Because from
isn't that literally what you're pitching? The person before your main story?
No. Like, I don't want to see the story of Master Chief's father, because that's not interesting. He's not my main
Master
character.
Chief's father was a literal nobody. Fox McCloud's father was a beloved hero.
But that's the thing. That's not what I want to see, though, in the comic.
Why not?
I want Fox McCloud, not his father. Maybe if it was Fox with his father.
Well, his father's dead, so it's the story of his father, him learning about his father through Peppy. Because Peppy, he's always talking about, you're just like your father. You're getting so much more like your father, and then we get to see what his father actually was like, because we get Peppy always talking about James. So but we actually get to see him talk about James.
We're getting a story explained of something that we already know. We're not getting really new info.
Oh, you want to talk about stories that we already know? Hey, where'd you get all that information that you said about what happened to John 117?
Well, that's all we know, is that he went through cybernetic and psychological experiments. What were they, though?
There are many books and many things about what happened to the Spartans.
There are, but how many are canon, though? That's the real thing.
They're all written.
And that is time.
Yay! Okay, cool. Ooh. Oh man, this is good.
Help if I played Star Fox ever.
Zach, you got a question?
I'm looking for a list of what is and is not canon in Halo at the moment.
That was the hard part for me.
Yeah, no,
it's very hit and miss.
Forward Unto Dawn, I believe, is canon, at least. At least Forward Unto Dawn is canon. Some of the Halo animated series is canon. Some of it. Red versus Blue, not canon.
Damn. That's the part I know.
Right?
It jokes in. Okay, Angie, do you have anything? Do you have a question?
Nope.
Okay. Damn. Okay. Each day, good stories about your about how good your story would be. Now, I want to know one thing. Let's say let's say they made a film based on your novel. Say they did that. Who would you want to direct it? What, you think that's a good question, Zach?
Good is not the question.
Is it all right?
I mean, I'm not going to stop you.
I have my answer.
I have an
Angie, what you
answer
think?
too.
What do you think, Angie?
Well, since they have answers for it already, may as well just use it.
Yeah. Okay. What is it?
Gendy Tartakovsky.
I went much more broad. Michael Bay.
Shit.
Man, I have a new question. Are you trying to tank your own?
I have a list
His
of
name will
concerns.
push enough.
Okay. I will. Oh God, that hurt. that I thought produced. You said, damn, you went right for it. I mean, that's a brave answer.
Explosions.
Zach facts.
Lots of them.
Not many, except that Halo Fall of Reach boot camp totally exists. This exact comic that Frisbee is describing does exist.
Okay.
I looked at found it on Comic Vine. It has one of 5 stars.
And it's not. I was going to use it as a reason for why I should win, but if it's bad, then
Yeah, it says
damn.
what a cash in on the review. Sorry.
Only was good.
And then it has a 2 out of 3 found this helpful on it. So yeah, no, sorry. So I was looking at what was canon, and technically it is canon.
Right.
Fall of Reach is canon.
Who you thought won, buddy?
I mean, I don't want to read either of these, honestly.
Really?
Not even a little. I care very little for Star Fox canon. I care even less for Halo canon. So it's like,
But
this would be like.
But who do you think made the better arguments?
Of the thing I would watch, I mean, I'd probably watch Eric's beforehand. Just because you said Gendy Tartakovsky, if Gendy's making another animated film that isn't Hotel Transylvania, I'd probably go see it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go see a Bay film now. So if we're going based off that, then yeah, then Eric has it.
All right. And Joke's in.
Well, the chat is saying some fun choices. Let's see.
We'll get to that later. Who you thought?
Oh, fine. I guess you don't want to hear what the chat has to say. That's fine.
I want to hear, but not right now because it might influence my answer.
Isn't that part of the point?
No, I don't. Go ahead.
Well, just you do what you want to do.
Yeah, do what you
want. Well, going off of who I think won, I think Eric, just because Frisbee's already sounded more like Fall of Reach.
Okay. All right. So I guess my answer doesn't matter, but I'm definitely I would have gone with Eric. I'm sorry, Frisbee. Once you said Michael Bay,
I wish I would have found that comic, because then I could have modified the answer, modified the comic.
All right. Well, Angie, now what did
Michael Bay would be awesome at it.
No, he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
Maybe Michael Bay directing like just like a weird war on like that takes place in Halo. Definitely not the training.
No,
not the deeply personal death of humanity training movie. That's not what I want Michael Bay to be directing.
I was gonna say, I guess your training and my training might be different, but you're right. That would make it bad. If you want to get that emotion in there and the cool action, You can't really have both. Not with
Right.
Bay.
I mean, that would make it exactly like the prequels.
Right. So what the chat saying, Angie?
Well, Ozzy47 says that Kratos would have been a fun choice.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it already exists. Read the Iliad.
I was gonna say, lot of
And
stuff.
then Dante from Dante's Inferno.
Read Dante's Inferno.
I know.
Did they even? Is that a game?
It's
It
a book.
is.
It is a book that exists, people.
And it is also
Read the
a
Divine
game that's
Comedy.
made by Visceral.
But a lot of people were really going after how you're pretty much describing Fall of Reach. A lot of people.
Any comments on my Anakin dig?
No, they got more distracted by Michael Bay at that point.
Yeah.
Fair.
What?
I mean,
What's wrong with
people
the
set
prequel?
aside everything is wrong with the prequels.
No, the new ones are bad. The prequels aren't bad.
Honestly, the new ones don't bother me. They're fine.
I mean, it bothers. I mean, the prequels. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, you are my friend, Anakin. I was like, what the?
Attack of the Clones is a god awful movie.
Yes, it is.
And Phantom
they could've
Menace
done
is just slow.
Well, I mean,
Revenge of the Sith is all right.
I mean, it did have that whole
I have the high.
coming on. You know, but yeah, you're right. It was terrible. Sorry.
I don't want to watch 20 minutes of pod racing. Star Wars movie. I'm sorry.
Somebody
I'm
did
sorry.
say that for Anakin, they did say it was sand. He doesn't like the sand. It's rough and coarse.
All right.
Who likes sand?
Fuck that line.
I mean, I would imagine people
It gets
that are-
everywhere.
Horse.
that live near beaches like it. I don't know.
I know.
God, I hated that line.
Ugh.
Oh,
Look, we
okay.
can trash the prequels literally anytime.
Right.
It is a whipping horse that will not stay dead.
We'll
Okay,
eventually
Boomer.
we'll eventually get to Star. We'll do Star Wars Grudge one day, so don't worry. All right.
I will
Question.
fight exclusively for Star Wars Connect.
You know what? Let's hold them to that. Why not?
Oh yeah, we're holding you to that.
Moving
Why
on.
does the cover of, in the Army today, in the Empire today, why does that truly capture the essence?
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Question
All right,
two.
Zach. Question 2. All right, Angie, you want to read that?
Sure. What is the most satisfying death in game history?
Ooh, oh crap. So first, you get to go first.
General Shepard from Modern Warfare 2.
I remember him. Eric.
E102 Gamma from Sonic Adventure. That is not. There we go.
We had somebody drop out, and I'm just going through it.
It's not a robot. Yeah, but yeah, that there we go. That's the right one.
I can't see what it is when I just click on it.
Yeah, he looks weird. Okay. I feel like this is a hatred argument right coming here. Frisbee, tell me why Shepard was so pleasant to see die.
I mean, anybody that has played Modern Warfare 2 or even really been on Twitter, because all the memes of where gamers cry are from this part. And I don't mean Shepard but what Shepard did to us. Shepard took Ghost, and that is unforgivable. I mean, he just shoots you in the face and lights you on fire. After so long working with somebody and getting so much trust, he just takes out half of your main cast right like that. And you have to follow him, chase him into a mountain bandit. Then you get a really cool blackout/night vision mission. You chase him into a boat. From the boat, your person shoots him with a rocket out of his helicopter. Then groggy, you stumble towards this character that you've been chasing like hell because you're pissed. for a whole mission. You get to that. I'm going to try to refrain from swearing. You get to that mother bleeper, and he stabs you. And he stabs you. After all that work, he stabs you. And then, when you're only living, your last teammate from your elite squad is left, and he's fighting this guy, and you think, holy crap, we might all lose. You pull that knife out of you, and you headshot that POS. Oh, just, if you don't feel the emotions in that scene, then I don't know what would inspire that. Because that is literally the scene where gamers cry, is when they steal Ghost from you and he steals it. And not only is it the most satisfying death, but you get to give it to him as the playable character. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, Eric, top that.
So I went a little bit of a different direction with my choice. So E102 Gamma, the sixth playable character in Sonic Adventure, is a robot under the control of Dr. Eggman. And he is subservient to Dr. Eggman for the first couple missions. But after seeing his brother be tortured, pulled apart, and put back together, he makes his resolve to then free all of his lost brothers from their servitude of Dr. Eggman. And the way to do that is to kill each and every one of them. And he goes through and eliminates each one of his other brothers, Delta, Epsilon, the third one, and ends in with his final confrontation with Beta, the first person he really ever met. And in this final showdown between these two brothers, you get that last shot in on Beta, and as Gamma is walking up to his body, Beta is able to pull out and just do one fatal shot to Gamma as he comes close to approach his brother. And it then turns into this very quiet moment. It's you don't get very many quiet moments in Sonic games, and it turns into this one. It's like it's a moment. Gamma turns around, his brother starts to explode, and then out pops a little bird. Bird flies away, and as this explosion is happening, Gamma is stumbling along, and he realizes, wait a second, I know that bird. That bird is my family. And at that moment, Gamma collapses to the floor, finally succumbing to his wounds. And as a slow, melancholy version of Gamma's theme plays, he then starts to have a ring of orb of explosion come out. And it's just this tearjerk of a moment as this robot that you have come to love for this entire game falls. But it's not sad, because out of Gamma's body comes another little bird. And it is in fact the two birds that the bird from Amy's story has been searching for this entire time. And at the end of her story, it's this nice, happy reunion between this family that has been separated for this entire game.
All right, good one. All right, Zach, are you ready?
Yeah.
Angie. All right. I want to ring the bell. You may start when ready. Whenever I ring the bell, you may start to clobber each other's arguments. Damn.
I mean, my whole story is about is about escaping this servitude of an evil maniacal genius. I mean, yours is about a douchebag who kills your friend and betrays his country. Sure, but
And then killing that douchebag.
Yeah, but mine's about freeing yourself.
Yeah, but your story really, I mean, a touching story, really, but it has no loss. It has no oomph. It has no, I mean, it has some emotion. I'll give you that. It has some emotion, but it really, if the explosion stayed and the person died, or the bird died, then that would have held some weight. But it's a nice reunion, and while that is nice, it's just a nice reunion. When you finally
Gamma dies so that Mr. Bird can have his family.
You're missing the point, though. When you finally get that mother, have you played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2?
It is the last one that I've played.
Okay, me too. So we're on roughly the same page here. When Ghost is taken from you, in that moment, because you got to admit, nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw that coming. Shepard just outright killing all of you? No. And then after you finally get over this emotional heartbreak and hunt him down, he gets you first. And you think you actually might lose, and then you have to pull the knife out of you. I mean, that's just a moment that just, when you're in that moment, your heart's beating and you finally hit him and you win, and Nikolai comes in and he saves you, and you're going to live because you finally killed that guy who was going to start World War III because he lost some of his friends. I mean, the emotions in that moment are so flying. You don't even know whether you're happy, sad, crying, cheering. You're hitting all those all at the same time.
I mean, there's plenty of other way more detestable characters that I would have much rather killed in that moment. For example, the scene where you are essentially forced to kill civilians, and then at the end of the mission, the guy offs you anyway.
That's true.
I'd rather have that guy as a much more satisfying death than.
And
Shepard.
Why does he do this? Because Shepard's provoking the Russians. Just the thing, this hits hard to me because I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure I actually cried at least one tear. I mean, I won't say that I was bawling.
I mean, I definitely
a little bit.
I definitely cried when Gamma died. So
when Ghost died, and then when you hunt him down and get Shepard. Oh, the good feeling. I might have to go and play that mission just because when you finally shoot down that helicopter and you're stumbling up to him, because it doesn't give you like a couple walk and you're just there. No, you have to walk for a solid 2 minutes and you're thinking, where is this? How is this going? And you're going to get him. And then, oh, he gets you. And oh, my heart's beating right now just thinking about it.
Is it time yet?
No, we got about 1 minute 15 seconds left. At least we can agree on this. This was probably the peak of Call of Duty. And then so that also should just add to my point. Because this was the actual good one.
I'd say the original Modern Warfare actually is a little bit better story-wise.
That's because it continues off of this one. They're the same continuing story.
No, this one continues off the first one.
Well, Modern Warfare 2 continues from Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are a continuing story.
Yeah, but
that's why
I'd say the first one was better. I mean,
there's only 30 seconds left. If you guys want to call it, we can.
Let's just call it.
Okay.
It's like I'd rather enjoy the game where you have to play as a character trying to survive through being hit by a nuke.
That's what you're. Well, we're trying to prevent the nuke in this one.
All right.
And the first Call of Duty, the first Modern Warfare, you lose main characters left and right.
All right.
By the end of the game, you're left with just Soap.
And then Soap? What kind of name is Soap?
And Roach.
Hey, that's his name. Soap.
And then at the end of Modern Warfare 2, you're left with just Soap and Price. Again.
All right.
Magic of Soap.
All right. So, Zach, what's your question? You got a question?
I don't have any.
Angie, do you have a question?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
With your character that you chose to die, would you save them? And if so, how?
I know, I have my answer. I would save them by either one of two ways: the way that Sonic X saved him, or the way that Sonic Battle saved him. The way that Sonic X saved him is that they just turned him into Omega because it's just easier, and then the way Sonic Battle changed him, they just rebuilt him without the bird.
I would not save Shepard. He can go to places that I don't think I'm allowed to say.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, like I said, we had vastly different versions of satisfying.
That's fair.
That's true.
Fair. That's fair.
We had such vastly different arguments that literally no question you would have asked would have really been.
Yeah, because they're
Point
both
for point.
going.
he went left, I went right.
That's fair. I'll say I will not. You know, I just like how he just got close to his mic. I will not save Shepard.
I will not save Shepard.
I will let him die. He will burn whatever hell he is.
And also, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I like half read the question, and I thought you were fighting for Shepard in Mass Effect 2.
No,
That's what
I'm like, they brought him back in the next game. What are you talking about? They're like, oh yeah, that's Shepard,
Eric,
right?
Eric, but did they though?
many Shepards.
But did they?
We're going out.
Full disclosure before we even start. I was prepared to fight against Commander Shepard.
I'm pretty sure I did send in General Shepard.
No, yeah, that's 100% on me. I just, like I said, I half read it.
There's too many Shepards.
Yeah, there's too
Yes.
many Shepards.
We're ending YouTube with a bang, I tell you. All right, Zach Facts.
I mean, facts. Sonic X is terrible.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Other
than that,
the first season is bad. The second season is just a retelling of the adventure series. The third season is its own weird thing.
but it's terrible.
It's less terrible.
No, I mean in general, like as a whole, like.
I mean, it's the reason we had Jason Griffith voice Sonic, and sure, but it also gave us Mike Pollock as Eggman. So trade.
Jim Cummings. I mean,
Jim Cummings was never Eggman in the games, but I digress.
does that matter?
It's
Honestly, no. Everybody knows their canon here.
All right. So, all right. Andrew, who you thought won?
Kind of a hard choice because I'm kind of on the fence about it.
Ew.
Yeah.
All right.
It doesn't help that we had two vastly different arguments.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
I mean, they both described the answer. I'll give you that. They both gave a satisfying death.
I'm gonna go with Frisbee on this one.
Ah, okay, cool. Zach?
I'm having a hard time because I don't care about either of these characters at all and what happened to them and any of that. I don't know. I judge the Silent Hill fight. When people die, it generally is harsher than this.
I knew this was going to be a terrible question.
Much worse circumstance. So
you knew who you were working with, Mac, when you made the question.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah, so it's hard. It's like one of these is trying to be an uplifting story, and the other one of these is sort of. I'm gonna have to go with Frisbee just because it's at least an emotion I understand more. It's like I understand
Revenge.
You know what, Zach? I knew I was never gonna get your vote on that one, so it's fine.
Because it's like I remember playing for the first time, going, "Why do I care about the bird?"
It's because it's the family of Mr. Bird, the one he's been searching. It's why he's been searching for the entire game.
I just like that his name is Mr. Bird.
Well, it's the name that Amy calls him.
Yeah,
That's still his
it's
name.
like Pinky or something.
I guess my vote doesn't matter, but if I had to choose, I'm sorry, Eric. I'm with them too.
No, fair.
I'm with
Good.
them.
It was a good call. It's a good call.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
because
sympathetic death maybe, but then like
it's that plus I played that game and I know that death. And when you're about to die and you literally take that knife out and stab him, I was sitting up there jumping to my seat like, yeah, God, you bastard. So, yeah, I was one of those people. So, all right, Angie, what you're saying in the chat?
Well, they're saying that they don't really think there really is a right answer because they're pretty satisfying deaths either way. And of course, you had to throw your 2 cents into all the chat and say the boss snake eater.
Yeah, all of them is boss. The boss.
No.
just no.
Yeah. What? Really?
No. Another death that they are saying is in Fable 2, the man that shot your dog in front of you.
That's a good one.
That is also
a good one.
That was like a John Wick moment.
Yeah, no. I can at least understand that.
No, I mean, well, no. The boss is the most satisfying death. I mean, she wanted to die, damn it.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, so you kill her?
Yeah, but
Since the guy who's arguing like, oh, think of the humanity during the Silent Hill fight, and
fuck you, Zach. Question 3.
yeah, like I'm just saying you can't have it both ways, Mac.
Okay.
Or can you?
Or can you? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can because my stance is just fuck it. But
Take the cake and eat it before they take it back.
All right. Question number 3. Zach, you want to read this?
no, I don't.
Okay, well, I'll read it. What is the best indie game released on Steam first? So, Eric, you get to go first.
I went with Stardew Valley.
Of course you did. Sweet.
Of course you would choose Stardew Valley. Of course you would choose Stardew Valley.
Yeah, of course I would. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, me and Andy just laughing because we know Eric and we know his answer. Of course, it's hard, dude. All right, Eric, just go. How much time we got, Angie? Angie, you there?
3 minutes.
Okay, Eric, try not to go.
Angie, you've really got to start streaming from a different location. This is getting bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's every episode.
We're in the okay. Let me explain. We're in the process of building my office, so this is what you get right now.
Sorry.
Fair.
No, you're fine. They laughed.
All right, so guys, we're gonna go ahead and get this started. Eric, you got 3 minutes. Try not to go over 4. Just remember, you only got 3 minutes.
So, Stardew Valley, a game made largely by one person. For at least the PC version was made by just one person, and it is probably the most in-depth, essentially revamp of the Harvest Moon genre. It is Harvest Moon is a very popular franchise that just sort of tapered off and poofed into nothingness. Sure, games are still coming out, but nobody's playing them. Everybody whoever loved Harvest Moon absolutely needs to pick up Stardew Valley, because it is everything that Harvest Moon was, but A, better, and B, more. Because you got things like you have 12 different people that you can eventually marry, for one, regardless of what gender character you're playing as. So that is actual inclusivity. Every of age character in that is actually bisexual, which is very, which is an important thing in this day and age to actually have that sort of inclusivity. Then of course you have obviously the main, you know, meat and potatoes of a Harvest Moon game. You have the farming, which is just this sort of very zen sort of sit back, relax, and make as much money as you can sort of thing, which is, it's like, if you really like that sort of thing, like I said, if you played Harvest Moon, it is the perfect successor to the Harvest Moon dynasty. And you also have, but there's more than just that. You got these multi-level dungeons. You get one at the edge of the map, and then once you beat that, you could then go to the harder one that's out in the desert. And the one out in the desert, it's harder. You fight against harder enemies. You get better rewards because of it. And there's just so many little intricacies to this. Every character in this game has have their own like sort of different scenes with them as you befriend them, even both romantically and non-romantically, because there are children and you don't romance children. That's a no-no. We are not in violation of COPA. This is a stance that we are taking right now. We are not in violation of COPA. We are leaving YouTube willingly because of COPA, but we are not in violation of COPA. Disclaimer.
I love how with your last 10 seconds,
Yeah, you just went all.
you just went all on YouTube's butt.
Yeah.
As I knew I had the time, so that's why I used it. I used it wisely.
Okay. Not gonna talk about Trump.
Don't even start.
Frisbee, tell us why Dear God is the best game on stream.
Dear God was my favorite indie game on stream, so that's why I picked it. Because I can't necessarily say it's the best, because it's a very opinionated and hard game. But if you get into it, then it's a game that you will love like no other, because it's a game that is really kind of independent in its own little genre. What it is Dear God is a side-scrolling, endless running-based puzzle game that, while the game itself says it challenges your aspects on religion, a little bit. What it really more heavily leans onto is it challenges your aspects on reincarnation and karma, and what you do to the game, how the game will react back to you in the eventual later aspects. The bosses are fun and hard to beat, but not impossible. So it's just a really interesting game to play. But where the game's real strengths lie in its beautiful artwork, its amazing scrolling environment, and its incredible mesmerizing music. Those three things with the game just make an experience that you won't soon forget, because it doesn't compare to any other game. It doesn't compare to, or at least any other game of its making. It doesn't compare to, or it didn't come from a different game, like from a larger or a previous one that it just kind of built off of. If it was a game that took its own idea and spun with it, with the different powers you can get and the different abilities you can do. I mean, you're a deer that can shoot fireballs. That's pretty hard to beat. But it really gets in your head. And when you play it for so long, the music just really lulls you into it, and you just lose complete track of time of what you're doing. And it's a game that I've paid 99 cents for it, and I have never forgotten it, just because of how unique it was in that sense. Thank you. And Trump sucks.
Yes, he does. He does. Yes, you win. You win. No, I'm playing.
Excuse me. Son, he can still fucking follow me, dude.
He wins.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He's playing Modern Warfare right now, and there's a guy that just like keeps on spawning behind him and just like chases him.
Then just stop playing. That's a pretty easy fix.
Pushing
Alrighty, who's ready for the grudge?
All right, let's go. All right, so I'm ringing this bell, and you may go at it now.
Now.
I mean, yeah, sure. You one time paid 99 cents for your game. I 3 times paid $15 for my game. That shows the dedication I have to playing this game. I own it on 3 separate platforms because I support this game and everything this game stands for. I own it on PC. I own it on the Xbox, and I of course own it on the Switch. Why would I not own it on the Switch? And you want to talk about karma? There's 2 paths you can take in this game. You can either be the nice farmer and rebuild the community center from its disheveled look, or you could give in to the corporation and pay essentially a stand-in for Walmart, just a simple 500 gold, and that community center gets demolished, and you just pay them and they fix up your town instead of you having to do these very intricate bundles and then these woodland spirits do it. No, it's like this game has its morality to it.
I also own Stardew Valley.
It's a good game.
It's an amazing game.
It is an amazing game.
I have to grudge against it because it's against my point, but I do also like the game. So with that in mind, it's Harvest Moon. It's a repeat of a game. I mean, yes, it does go more intricate and it gets more in depth. It's a game in later time. If it didn't do that, I'd be pretty goddamn disappointed.
You mean like with every Harvest Moon game that has come out in the last 10 years?
Again, have to argue, but the point is it's not, your game isn't an original concept. It's a revamp of an older good idea that they were like, we could make a lot of money on this. Let's alter it a little bit, slap a new label, bam, instant seller.
Oh no, this was a work of passion that one man decided to build from the ground up. He made the music, he made the graphics, he did everything, and it wasn't until it finally started to get ported to other systems that he finally had to give in and get help from other people, because he knew how to do PC. He didn't knew how to do Xbox. He didn't know how to do PS4. He didn't know how to do Switch stuff, but he built his game, and there are still updates coming out. There is a new update coming out next week, or this week actually. I think it's coming out this week now. At the time of this recording. Fact check that, please. I think it's this week. The 1.4. There's a new update coming out soon.
Again, have to argue this. Play Farmville. It's farming.
Okay, that is by far the worst possible way you could have tried to dig yourself out of that. Farmville is just a pointless clicker game where you just gotta click and then wait 8 hours in real life. That's an awful comparison to make.
Sounds like a good game to draw you in, though, keep you coming back. But I mean,
it's like let's not get into the Facebook games demographic, because Zynga's a whole different beast.
I didn't know it was done by one person.
Concerned Ape is one person.
Stardew sucks.
No, it doesn't.
You guys keep on like stopping at like a minute and a half. You guys really don't have like any other arguments?
I gotta say, I've never heard of your game.
But that's another thing that makes it an impressive game, you know?
The fact that I've never heard of it, the fact that I've never seen anybody play it, in the various different gameplay channels of
lots and lots of sales doesn't always make it a good game. It just means that a lot of people bought it.
Even on channels that play weird niche indie games, I've never seen this game
so
once.
It's really hipstery.
But the reason that I bring this up is that the question is that started on Steam. And yes, my game started on Steam, but has expanded beyond Steam. But it got its humble beginnings as a Steam indie title. and it just grew and grew in popularity as more and more people. You could play it on your Xbox. You could play it on your phone now, which is a weird thing to really think about.
Well, when you have a huge demographic that loves Harvest Moon, I loved Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
That's why I got Stardew Valley. But again, it's just piggybacking off of the further success. But great game.
That is time.
Hard to argue.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. It's coming.
Anybody got a question? Zach, I know you're saving for the last one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, he is.
Basically.
I know he is.
Angie?
That's a negative Ghost Rider.
Dadgummit. Which Ghost Rider?
Robbie Reyes.
All right, fine.
The good one.
No, I'm talking about like there's actually a Ghost Rider and then Ghost Writer.
Rider.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought you said Wall Rider. Anyway, Medallion Nimble. Okay, I gotta give the damn question. Okay, okay, so tell me, why? Tell me one good thing about the other person's game. Is that good? Well, that's a good one.
He doesn't know my game.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's good. The good thing is it's so indie, I've never heard of it.
To me, you should check it out. It's a good game.
Right.
Really cheap,
okay.
probably.
All right. I've been hearing a lot of good things about these games. Tell me why one thing about the game that really tell me why I should buy. Like, I'm literally on Steam. Why should I buy your game in particular? Why should I? Is that a good one?
All right.
I mean, is that a good one, Angie? What you think?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Zach?
I mean, I don't know how to ascertain quality, but sure.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I've got my answer.
Okay.
I've got an answer too.
All right. Eric?
Because you want to shed the shackles of corporate America and make your grandfather proud.
Fuck you, Eric.
Wow.
You just made me want to go play Papers, Please.
yeah.
Would have been another good answer. Not what we're fighting.
For me,
Yeah,
artwork, the
Go
artwork.
ahead. Okay.
If you were gonna get this game for any other reason, it would be just for the amazing artwork in the side scrolling that they have. It's absolutely gorgeous, and combined with the music, even if the game's terrible, the ambiance that it sets for you will keep you there until you finish.
Okay. Zach, facts.
Fact, this game has nothing to do with SCP 2845. That is the. I was hoping. Come on. But fact, this is on the Switch, and Dear God, it's on the Switch and other platforms.
Okay.
That it is. So, and it's 1.4.
Oh yeah, I guess I never mentioned that. It is on other platforms too. I have it on my app.
No, yeah. So I'm just saying, it's not like it did not. It only came to a singular platform.
Right. Like I said,
but it's still low.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's on an episode of Steam Train.
Elite.
I've not watched Steam Train in like 5 years.
I'm just saying, if people at least know it exists.
Okay.
And it had a Kickstarter. So.
If you got a buck, you should give it a try. It's worth it.
All right. Well, Zach, who you thought won?
No. You go first now.
Damn it. Okay.
Since you keep saying your opinion doesn't matter in the end anyway.
Yeah.
Y'all are both right now being a pain in my ass right now. Okay.
That's our job.
I just like how you did that. Like, it's our job. Just swinging your hair.
It's our job.
I hear a lot of chatter, not really your opinion, Mac.
Okay. Here's the thing. Why you put me in this position? I wanted to be lazy today.
Oh man, you gotta judge the show that you're the judge of. How dare we?
see,
Yeah, you got to make the finale to a game show on YouTube. Wow.
yeah, I know. So look, Stardew Valley is awesome and everything good about it. It sounds like a great game. Yeah, it's no offense. Harvest. One thing's against it. It's Harvest Moon. That is true. Um, dear God, it seems something original. I heard a lot of his game. I heard a lot about his gameplay. Um, the fact that Eric didn't know much about it really hurt, and I think the more he kept trying to, I think Eric kept trying to argue for his. Um, and also your ending argument, I just felt like, yeah, your grandpa proud. That's why I said "f you, Eric," because that literally sounds like what? That just sounds like a slave reference.
No, you're
No, it's a
inherit your
game reference.
you inherit your farm
Your
the
father,
farm from your
you-
dead
you-
grandfather, and his,
It's a
and-
very deliberate reference to the game.
it is a very deliberate reference to the
Okay,
game, not a slave thing.
How did we go to slavery, Mac?
I don't know. It just felt like I just felt like going in the fields, picking up plants and
No.
all that.
Mac.
No.
Mac,
No.
this is all your
This is your manifestation. Get out of it.
Okay. Well, anyway, F Trump.
Make your as in the player, not you as in Mac,
Okay.
not
F
you as in
you-
David MacGyver Poole.
Okay, F you, Trump. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna with that said, with that out the world, seriously, I had to go with Frisbee. Based on just because the main reason I had to go with Frisbee is it feels like a different game, and I feel like Eric game sounds like I haven't played Stardew Valley, but from what I hear and I played,
You should.
Harvest
It's
Moon.
amazing.
I should, but I played Harvest Moon, and I feel like it's just Harvest Moon, and I felt like
It's Harvest Moon, but better.
It's Harvest
True,
Moon on
true. But I was like, well, what's keeping me from playing Harvest Moon? So yeah, I'm going Frisbee. Zach.
I'm highly disappointed this didn't have anything to do with the SCP Foundation. I was hoping. I really was.
Somebody like shoot at me.
For those of you who don't know, that's the secure, contain, protect. Because there's a dear God in there that's really interesting. But I am not one for Stardew type games personally. Not my thing. But it just from what I've seen of both these, Stardew is just constructed so much better and over time, and just like it seems like a better value for your money, I guess. So I'm gonna go it off that. It seems like a game you'd play infinitely instead of a usual indie Steam game that you play for a month and then sort of just let you'll go, man, that was great, but then you'll just you'll forget. Maybe play it again in a couple of months. So I'm gonna have to go with Stardew, unfortunately.
All right. Well, we're tied. Angie.
Well, I was on the fence for a little bit, but the grudge match kind of decided it for me. And I was going to go with Eric just because I heard more good stuff in the arguments about Stardew Valley than I did about Dear God.
Yeah, you got good arguments for Stardew Valley on both sides.
Yeah, that's
So I'm going with Stardew Valley.
It's an amazing game.
I believe you, man. I've been in that situation. It's difficult.
It's hard to argue something that you really like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had to pick at points that were really nitpicky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the fact that you Stardew Valley sucks. That was interesting. So
like I probably would have gone with like Darkest Dungeon or something, just because that's like
okay.
that's still going on. So that's still alive.
It's like if it wasn't for the fact that Rogue Legacy is almost like a completely different game than when I first got it, I might have gone with Rogue Legacy.
But I mean, that is part of the point of Rogue Legacy.
Yeah, true.
I
True,
almost
true,
went
true.
with Stardew, but I wanted to swing wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're all wrong. It's stick fight. Yeah, awesome. But then again, 8-bit Fiesta. Sorry, 8-bit Fiesta. Yes, you're all wrong.
All right. That's the end of round
Moving on.
3.
If
Wasn't
it has
Cuphead an indie game on Steam?
Huh?
Wasn't Cuphead an indie game on Steam?
No.
Why-
No,
Oh.
it was released on Xbox.
Okay.
and had major funding from Xbox.
Right.
From it started as a Microsoft exclusive.
I mean, if we had that, I mean, we would be that would be the ultimate victory because Cuphead is amazing.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. All right, Andrew, what you saying in the chat?
They're saying farming simulator because like farming is farming. A couple people suggested Dead by Daylight. And
Solid
then
choice.
they're mostly freaking about how there's like 19 different farming simulators, and they're like, "Why, God? Why have you forsaken us with 19? Why?"
I mean, to be fair, Farming Simulator and Stardew have like little to nothing to do with each other.
Yes. No, but yeah, they're talking about farming simulator.
Yeah, like a Farming Simulator and Farming Simulator are two very different things.
Yeah.
Also, Farming Simulator, if you wanted to argue that sucks, I mean that's your prerogative.
Yeah, it's a good game.
I don't like it personally, but I don't like farming. So
It's like the truck driving game. It's boring, but it's fun.
All right. Well, with that said, people. Oh, anything else, Andrew?
Question 4.
Question number 4.
This is the one that Zach has been sleeping through the rest of the rounds for.
Zach, so do you want to read this dang question?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you made the questions. You have to read them.
Oh, I don't have to read the question.
I'll read this one. Just put it up on the thing screen.
This is your favorite question. I thought you.
I don't like it when mommy and daddy are fighting. Guess which one's mommy?
What are you implying about that?
Yeah, what are you implying?
What's your implication here?
Yeah, I know.
Moving on,
folks. Question number 4 is: pitch the next Viewtiful Joe game.
All right. Frisbee, what's your answer?
I created Viewtiful Joe Invasion of the Mega Critics.
Zach, you got a picture or something?
Oh, no. I did not have time to do mock-ups for this.
yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
That's fine.
Which is
Yeah,
good.
it's kind of imagination, so.
Oh, no, I've done mock-ups before.
Yeah, he's done mock-ups before. For pitches, yeah.
Yeah, for
Eric.
Gex.
All right. My game is Viewtiful Joe, Strike of Infinite Joes.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, with that said, Frisbee, you had the floor.
So to start off mine, I would like to make it clear and known that I had no idea what this series was. I had to research and I put a good amount of reading into how the stories went, but until this grudge match, I had never even heard of it. Now, it sounds like a very interesting game that I would probably even like to play at one point, but starting from that point on, the game that I created from it was basically a 2-player online game. And what I wanted it to be was the Mega Critics are invading from Earth, and they're kind of it. So now this is where you gotta give me the suspension of disbelief. The Mega Critics sent in my overall third story. They're what created the people in number 2. But before that, they're going through number 1 and slicing up all of the story and change. And what they did was they took Captain Blue and they split them into the good side and the evil side, because they felt that the good side is what made him lose in the first one, and that it was just, if he was completely evil, maybe things would have gone different. So they split him in half and they take his V-Watch, and they give it to the evil one. So the good one, getting a lesser valued V-Watch, pairs up with Viewtiful Joe, and the two of you having to fight an almost doubled increased amount of enemies, have to go through and redo the missions from the first and the second one, all with increased enemies.
Okay. Eric.
So my game opens up. It's been a couple years since the original Viewtiful Joes. The movies that have been produced because of them have become mainly popular. However, every other movie is suffering from one fatal flaw: a Hollywood-wide strike, a writer's strike. So now it's up to Viewtiful Joe to go into every genre of movie and star in every single one of them. We get Joe in the Old West. We get Joe in a taking down the mob. We get Joe in a murder mystery. We get Joe in a romantic comedy. We get all these movies starring Joe as he has to essentially bring Hollywood back from the brink of destruction from this strike. And by the end of the game, all of these Joes that have been created from this movie all team up together because of Joe stretching out this ability to go into movies has actually created infinite Joes, but it's caused a problem because it has broken the fabric of reality as they've tried to come back into the real world. And this has caused major havoc. So now it is up to the team of Joes to patch the real world back together by the end of this movie. The game. A game about movies. I watched the anime.
I want to see Zach's face when he said that.
That is the strike I was talking about, Zach.
He's looking like, oh no, not that crap. So as you know, people, this is a pitch round. With a pitch round, we don't let you grudge because what's the point?
Yeah, good. Okay, good. I was worried about that. Whew.
So we're just gonna go ahead and give you the question. So I would just give it to Zach. But I'm gonna say F him and go to Angie. Angie, what you nah, Zach, what you got a question, man?
So I was gonna say F Mac. Zach, what's your question?
Okay. You guys are both trying to update a lot of the concepts in it story wise. How would you bring in the inclusion of the internet into your game, like as a story element?
That's better than mine. I was gonna ask where's Sex Cecilia.
Can I ask for okay, so by the introduction of the internet, do you mean like online play or do you mean the internet itself?
The internet itself as an idea, like, okay, because it's a film-based universe. How has internet changed this film-based universe?
Okay.
So
I have two answers. My first answer is that one of the movies that's parodied is The Social Network. The other answer is that that the strike itself is really permeated the internet, and the world itself is going into a fuss because no new movies are being made because of this strike. And this is like, I'm talking worse than the strike that created Revenge of the Fallen. Worse than that. Also, that strike also created Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog, which is also involved with the internet. Bringing it back around.
Sure is. I mean, I do love Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog. I'm not.
It's the only good thing to come out of that writer's strike.
It is. It is.
Frisbee.
For the internet for mine, the way that I would put it into the story is that for all the films that Joe has to go through, the worse that it's rated on the internet, based off of like actual critics, maybe they're more powerful. Depending on how the movie was rated.
Okay, so like the lower the Rotten Tomatoes score would make the game harder. Would make the level harder. Okay, I can
because the critics are angry.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
That's actually a really good answer.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's about what I expected.
Yeah, because it actually works with the critic theme.
Yeah, one studio note: it should be Attack of the Metacritics.
Yeah, I thought about that.
You're gonna get sued.
I didn't know enough about the series, so I just went with Mega because I was like, just big critics, angry critics.
No, not angry critics. Let's leave critics out of this.
All right.
This is not Channel Awesome.
I feel like you need to put your fingers up with like the "I am not a crook" thing every time somebody says that. No, they're not Channel Awesome.
I was frozen today, okay, people. Okay, Zach facts.
I mean, the fact is, I mean, they both. I mean, other than me wondering how Sexy Sylvia would fit in, which that's a legit.
Yeah,
question.
I mean, not every movie stars a man, dude.
Yeah, I was asking that too. So,
well, more I was just wondering that in general. But I also don't know the answer to this, so I'm Mac, Angie. You guys got opinions?
Okay, so you want to know what our answers, and you're gonna go last. Okay, I get this. Look, I like Eric's. Eric is pretty cool. Eric's is pretty nice. It sounds like a Beautiful Joe game, and it sounds like what you would do in a Beautiful Joe game, because the first one was basically like a monster movie and them fighting monster characters, which was something interesting. I think bringing in more movies and letting him go through other movies is something interesting.
Get a little closer to the mic, Mac.
Oh, okay. I think while Eric is interested in bringing in more people, bringing in Frisbee just sounds something. I like Frisbees because it feels Deadpool. Feels Deadpool to me. I just want to punch critics. Just beat the hell
I mean,
out of
if you want, if it sounds more Jalen Silent Bob Strike Back more than
yeah, and I love that. Yes, exactly. I just want to do that. So yeah, I'm slight edge to Frisbee.
Angie, you got an opinion?
I would kind of like to see them both as films. But I'm gonna go with Eric.
Okay. Also, the reason I had that look when the anime was brought up is it is a bad anime.
I
remember watching it on CW.
I just said I watched it. I didn't say it was good.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm giving context here.
Yes.
Do not watch it.
Play the games.
Play the games. It's much better. I like both of these ideas as continuations. Like part of what I'm gonna give it to Frisbee, but the only reason why is because Gex does a lot of the movie stuff.
Yeah.
And the genre hopping, and I feel like a lot of that might be more at home in a new Gex title. Because Beautiful Joe has always been more of a meta commentary on the state of film.
Yeah.
Than direct commentary on it.
Well, my meta commentary is that the only movie that you can make is a superhero movie.
Yeah,
the-
sort of.
I had the thought halfway through that we should combine ours. That would make an amazing
Oh,
one.
it would.
No,
You know,
no,
with
yeah.
all of
It's
your
like-
movies
like-
with my critics.
It's like right after I finish, I'm like, oh shoot, no, the critic thing. Oh no, he's going to use it.
So no, I'm going with Frisbee as well. Also, my thought with incorporating the internet, VOD, villain on demand.
Ooh.
Interesting.
So you know,
All right.
That
are
was
we okay?
that was my
Angie?
that was my lamp. It just fell. It's okay.
All right, Angie, what they're saying in the chat?
Well, we were kind of tossing around a couple fun ideas. One person said that they would like to see a beautiful Joe corrupted. Joe gets a virus.
Hmm.
And then I had an idea
It's
of
actually just an
Beautiful
entire
Joe,
game.
the Battle of the Dark Joe.
That first one is just an entire game, but Joe has a cold.
Honestly, that they would have done that back then.
And also, it's your third
that-
game. It's time to
actually-
take risks.
Actually, that just sounds like an episode of the anime.
It does.
I'm gonna go crazy and wild. I'm just gonna literally just go and find a way to make a deal with Marvel and Marvel Studios and Fox and just literally just put Deadpool in it. And just put Deadpool in it and just say Beautiful Joe and Deadpool.
You just want to
that
put
one.
Deadpool in everything, which
I mean,
I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
argue
No,
with.
no, no,
but-
yeah, but
I
you're
mean,
wrong.
Beautiful Joe is a Capcom product, so
Yeah, he could technically combine with Deadpool. That'd be interesting.
because Beautiful Joe was in Tatsunoko versus Capcom, not Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right?
True. I don't know.
No, he was
Something like that.
Or was he in both?
Yeah.
I just remember him being in Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Yeah, so technically he could join with Deadpool. It
yeah.
would be something interesting. I think I just want to see
Beautiful
him.
Joe has been been a guest in a lot of stuff. Honestly, I would love to see him as a Smash character. It'd be fascinating.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, but
All right.
nobody remembers him anymore.
Yep, he's dead. He's dead, Zach.
We need a new season of the anime to bring up interest.
I don't know if they made the whole thing about how the first season got screwed up. I think
I just feel like it's like Eric. I think like Zach was holding back his cussing. He's like,
oh no, I was muted.
And in reality, he's like,
That's what he thought. Shut up, Eric. All right, well, guys, we're tied. Wow.
Yep.
All right, so I guess we're going to the PvP. Tied. Wow, who would have known? Who would have known? I did. So, I'm going to get something. Okay. I got a bottle cap.
Oh,
You have
Lord.
All right.
That's nice, Mac. I actually have a coin.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Call me here.
Tails.
tails. Oh.
Oh.
Eric got there first,
Too
and
slow.
God damn it, I grabbed the euro again. I have learned that the part with the number is the face, though, as of recent. So it's actually had so Frisbee, you can decide. I eventually looked it up.
I'll go second.
Okay. I hate being in this position. All right. All right. Who haven't I gotten a question from in a long time? You know what, Mac? What do you got to say?
Yes, 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 yes.
You know what? It's the
He's
last
too
episode on
excited.
YouTube for at least a while. Might as well go for it.
Yes. Okay, sorry. Nobody have not did this in a while. I got a bunch of questions.
Stop checking.
Nobody's picked Mac in a long time, and I've realized this.
And I had a whole bunch of questions stacked up. Let's see. Where are you?
Where are you?
Scooby.
And I'm so sorry. Sorry.
Went for different songs.
I know.
Nice. So, is the new Scooby-Doo movie going to be any good?
A hard maybe. Hard
Uh,
maybe.
No.
The new Zombie
They're
Island
making
is
a new
fucking
Scooby Doo movie?
Yes, they are. New Zombie Island is awful.
I don't even. The
I, for
first
one, am
Zombie Island
excited
is a
about the
perfect
new
movie.
Sonic
And
movie.
Yes, they made Return to Zombie Island.
Oh Lord.
It's Flash.
ugh.
It's everything around about that.
No, it's just because the first one is so beautifully animated.
Yeah. I'd rather watch the one with meets the WWE wrestlers at this point.
Oh. You mean the one where John Cena stops
Yes.
a boulder and they play the John Cena theme?
Yes.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
This is on Scooby Doo.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Scooby Doo and the Cyber Chase is best.
You are objectively
It's-
wrong.
It is
Two-
better than the following 4 movies, but not better than the 3 previous.
Choose a game character.
Did I miss the question?
No, you got to
Choose
choose a
not-
game character.
Oh,
Choose a game
okay.
character.
The question comes after our choice. It's been a while, we know.
We're so silent.
I'm doubling down. I'm going with Master Chief.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm not going to double down. So,
Oh crap! He's pulling his back.
you know what? Frank West.
Okay. Question I'm going to ask is, and I have it right here, and I think it's perfect. Why should your game character teach kids in school?
All right. So yeah, I got to go first, right?
So basically, why your game character would make the best teacher?
Well, my game character, he's survived a zombie apocalypse. He's covered wars, you know. He is so world weary that he has so much experience that he needs to pass on to this new generation in a post-zombie world. So he has to teach the children of tomorrow how to deal effectively with zombies, both in avoiding them and eventually taking them down, because that is something you need to learn in a zombie apocalypse.
Okay, cool. Frisbee.
Master Chief would be the ultimate gym teacher because he's cybernetically enhanced. I mean, he's in a giant suit. I mean, he's never going to run out of energy. So he's the perfect person to be a gym teacher because he probably doesn't know much else.
Interesting. All right. Eric, you get to either rebut or continue your answer. So starting now.
Master Chief would be a terrible gym teacher because A, he is cybernetically enhanced. That is something that the kids do not have. He cannot connect to the athleticism of a child. He will wind up pushing them so hard that parents will complain, and ultimately he'll get fired.
Frisbee.
You want to talk about fired? You are teaching children how to survive a zombie apocalypse. If my son came home starting to start a fire in the house because that's what he learned at school, I would be furious. I would get that teacher fired so fast. My son does not need to know that kind of stuff. He would be a terrible teacher. He would get fired because what subject would he even teach? Is that in history? Is that in math? What kind of teacher is a survivalist? I mean, he's not even a teacher.
It's actually journalism school. Surprisingly, no.
He
just
could teach
happens
journalism, but that wouldn't help with survivalism.
It's a journalism class. He just also happens to teach zombie survival.
I want to take that journalism class.
Angie, who you thought won?
Good class.
gonna go with Eric.
Okay. Zach?
I mean, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm trying. I mean, I'm gonna go with Eric's. Just because at least it makes sense, and also I'm not sure if I'd want Master Chief given the history you gave earlier.
Yeah, teaching children. Yeah.
Just
Well, what would what class would actually he be teaching though? Survivalism, you know?
Well,
you can go to survival schools.
Well, in a post Zombrex world, yes, they would have a zombie survival class in school.
See, I was just going like these have to go be high school teachers. Like they have to exist in our world.
I didn't think that. Yeah, I didn't.
Like not in post worlds, not in Halo worlds. This exists in our human world. That's why I said I wouldn't be cool with my kid learning survivalism stuff. That's not something in my world I want my son learning at school. I would teach him that.
Point, and that's why I would have went with you, but they outvoted me. So
yeah, that's it.
I mean, that's not the confines of the question that me and her knew.
Yeah,
we only heard just saying. We did not know that.
Yeah.
No, that's how
Eric, you escaped. Yay.
You okay there, Mac? You seem a little off.
He didn't want me to win.
He wanted to see him lose.
I wanted to see him fail. Damn it.
We had a prearranged arrangement.
I mean, you've known that he's been getting better at this.
Oh, I just want him to lose.
You always want me to lose too. And then it never happened. So
it did happen, and it was glorious. It was so glorious when you lost.
Mac just wants everybody to lose.
Yeah, which is
he wants to be the true winner.
He just wants everybody to tie like that one time that I left it at a tie.
That was your fault. Okay, so all right. Well, Frisbee, you lost again, but you lost to the champ, so don't feel too bad.
It was an extra point round, you know, PvP.
Yeah. So you took them right there. I mean, you could have had it, but
yeah, he was a semifinalist.
Yeah, he was. And if Eric somehow survives and keeps his belt, you know,
this time.
Wait, why wouldn't he survive?
If Eric still has his belt.
Okay.
There is a bomb
theoretically
inside
speaking,
the belt.
If I would have won, would I have gotten the belt?
No.
Because I was going to say I thought we were just having a mock round.
We were.
No, yeah, no. This is just
a warning. That's what this
is my warm up.
No, a warning. My warning to you.
Oh! All right. Well,
that's 2 champs I almost beat now.
Exactly.
Almost doesn't count except in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Well, I'll throw a hand grenade.
That is something John 117 would teach you in his gym class.
Unless if he hits you with a sticky grenade, then you're.
All right, well, guys, that was a good episode. This was a great episode. I go out on top with you two. So Eric, what you got? No, Frisbee, what you got to plug me?
I've been doing a little bit better with my YouTube uploads. I do one every Monday and Friday, or at least I try to, and Twitch on the weekends. So, you know, I'm getting better. Just gotta stick to my schedule that I set for myself.
Right.
Talk more about One Piece.
And more One Piece, always. Never can have enough.
All right, Eric.
You can find me on Twitter at BunkBunker. You can find me all around this channel. Well, I guess not on YouTube anymore. But
we'll talk about it later, though.
We'll talk about where all the videos are going soon. It's like just because we're abandoning YouTube does not mean we're abandoning Is It Rotten. We haven't recorded an episode in a while, but it's not abandoned. Promise.
It's not abandoned. We have not abandoned that show. No.
Oh, I am ready.
We've just been busy.
Yes, we have. It's called life, people. It's called life.
The episode on Swing Kids should be recording soon. Hopefully.
Maybe.
Hopefully by the end of the month.
Damn it. Angie, what you gonna put?
Well, as you guys know, you can always find me hanging out with the Game Fixers. And you can also find me at mixer.com/angelic sin. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. You can also find me on TikTok. I'm also on YouTube. And I just launched a merch shop at spreadshirt.com/user/angelic sin.
Right. Make sure you go to that merch shop. And make sure you go to ours too.
Or don't.
Or don't.
We're not going to force anybody here.
No, we're not.
No.
You know, but once again, if you say we suck, you know, make sure you put your address and everything down there so we can find you.
Max will personally come. Then we'll download it and print those internet comments and comment to each and every one of your houses and beat you up.
Beat you up. Did you just say that?
Silent Bob.
I just explained the plot of Jay and Silent Bob Strike.
Yeah. So I say, did you just say?
That's a strong word, Eric.
Right. I can
the grand finale of Jail and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Who would do that with that much money?
Yeah, I mean, I can just see me, Zach, and Eric just literally going to somebody's house. Did you just say that Max sucks balls and
then Eric... Zach and I would be like, we agree, and then we kick Mac.
It's like
it was a double cross.
Yeah, then we just go and reenact the printer scene on Mac.
What?
Anyway.
Zach, what you got to plug?
I will be continuing uploading on YouTube whenever, just because I have like a month late on a review, and I just have not had the time nor ambition lately. So
okay,
editing's hard.
It is. It is very hard.
Yeah, I mean, like I've said before, Down Pilot's not canceled. I just haven't edited the episode in a year.
A month is one thing, Eric.
Yeah, but like, hold on.
It's been a full year.
A rotting corpse is
like, hey, Down Pilot, you down there? Yeah, okay.
It has done irreparable damage to mine and Tom's friendship.
What is it coming out, damn it?
Down to Pilot Indi. Down Pilot, the Down Pilot. Perfect.
I mean, Zombieland 2 came out and went. It's like there was a perfect time for me. There was a perfect time for me to put out that episode, and I didn't.
You didn't. It's like, oh.
I'm like, I was prepared to do it too.
And you're like, I don't want to because I'm too lazy.
It's half laziness and half I can't get a good rip of the episode.
Gotcha. Well, guys, you don't know.
And also half the computer that my editing software on is down over there. I got a new computer and it doesn't have editing software.
All right. Well, guys, you know me. I'm Matt Poole, aka the Game Fixers. I'm the founder of
all of them. All plural. He is all the Game Fixers.
I am all the Game
Fixers. All the games.
Yes.
No, he's not the games fixer.
Exactly.
Fixes the only game he has over and over.
Mega Man.
Exactly. Awesome. But guys, seriously, on a serious note, I want to thank YouTube for having me on here for 5 years now. I've been on here for 5 years. Why
thank them?
Shut up, Zach.
I'm sorry. This seems That seems counterintuitive.
Well, look. I gotta be nice.
He's got to be the bigger person.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the. Yeah.
Yeah, not like a child.
Yeah.
We're not advertising the children.
Yeah. Hopefully, this video will be.
Be the literal bigger person and not advertise to children.
Exactly. I'm gonna download this video and delete it right away because yeah. Guys, I want to thank y'all for. I want to thank not YouTube, but the people in general, the subscribers. I want to thank all you for sticking with me for all 5 of these glorious years. We're not going. We're not leaving. We're not leaving. We're not leaving. We're just not streaming for a long time.
No, we'll still be streaming, just not on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. But if you want to see us stream, make sure you go to our Twitter at GG Game Fixers. We will be streaming from now on Twitch. So Twitch is the big page for us now. Twitch will be the big page. This week I have put up on the Facebook page, on the Game Fixers Facebook page. I have posted binge watch Gundam Wing episode on there. But right now we're currently looking for a platform to upload our videos on. But once we find that platform, we will let you know immediately where it is and where you can find it. But I want to thank all y'all for sticking with me for this time. But if you love me, go to our Twitch. Go to our Twitch. Make sure you go support us on Twitch as we open up a new era of the Game Fixers on Twitch. Because I hate
this new era is called GF2.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it it's GF1. Yeah, it's still gonna be GF1, people. So go to Game Fixers, go there, find us, and we'll make sure we get you there. And we're on Mixer, people. So we love you guys on Mixer.
No, remember when Mixer was a joke?
Yeah, I remember. Now it's not.
And then Ninja went there?
Yeah, I know, right?
Now it's suddenly a viable option.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're leaving. We're leaving, but we're not. How I can say it? We're going. We're gone, but we're leaving, but we're not gone. We'll be here, but until
we're just moving across the street, guys.
Exactly, we're moving across the street. But until
why does this sound like your dad announcing his divorce to you?
It sounds like you're like quitting the channel for good. We're gonna be coming back eventually.
You're gonna be coming back, and Mac will have a script, and we'll know what's going on.
No, it's like the episode. It's like the final episode of Foster Son for Imaginary Friends, where Mac is moving. He's just moving down into a bigger apartment.
Exactly. So, guys, but seriously, we'll be back, people.
Don't forget to check out the merch shop and the website.
Make sure you go check out the merch shop and the website. The website is now up and running. We probably will try to start getting some live streams on there too, but it didn't work on first tonight. But we thank y'all for we're on Periscope too, so thank you for coming up on there. But until then, people,
leave comments what you think the next streaming platform of dominance will be.
Exactly.
My vote's on YouPorn.
Okay.
No.
Okay, guys. We will see.
That's like the biggest no.
No.
You can't violate COPA if you're on an adults-only platform.
This is also true.
All right, guys. We will see y'all next time on another episode of Gamer Grudge, but not on YouTube. But for those on YouTube, see you later. Goodbye. But to everybody else, we'll see you next week on another episode.
Hopefully you'll choose to come from YouTube. Hopefully.
Please go to Twitch. Go to Twitch.
Go to justin.tv.
Hell no. The Game Fixers, go to the Game Fixers on Twitch, and we'll make sure we'll get you there. We're probably going to change the name a little bit, but until then, people, we'll see you next time on another episode of Gamer Grudge. Bye-bye.
Bye. Why is it that the guests always leave the second that the episode's over?
Because